Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Monday opportunity to reflect on new intentions and next goals, our weekly Monday mindfulness session. I'm really glad to have you with me. Normally, I have you sit for our first few breathing exercises, but I'm going to encourage you today to stand up if you're not already. Feel your feet grounded on the earth. You could take your shoes off even if it's comfortable. Push your chair back. If you've already sat at your desk, just get up and move. Last week, we reflected on some of the successes and challenges that we faced over the term so far, and maybe even over the last year. And I asked you to identify one or two successes and one or two challenges. I did that as well. And one of the challenges that I've faced is the neck pain that I've experienced from sitting at my desk for long periods of time. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I've certainly been in back-to-back Zoom meetings, also a challenge and something I've identified as making a change going forward. But when you do sit at your desk, our tendency is over time, even if we sit down with really good intentions of having a tall spine, over time, our chin tends to begin to tuck and stick out a little bit. And our pelvis, if it was rooted, tends to start to rotate backwards. So we start to let our bellies fall and then spin our tailbones back. And so if you want to sit well in your chair, you want to tuck your tail under, really root your sit bones into what you're sitting on, stack your shoulders over your hips, and then draw them onto your spine and tuck in your chin. So as a result of that kind of curving that naturally begins to happen for all of us, we tend to get tight into the scapular area, the backs of our shoulders. So our intention often in trying to stretch or relieve that tension is to sort of, tuck our chin and try to release it by sort of lengthening that muscle. The challenge is that actually does the opposite of what we want. When we hunch forward, we're putting pressure in our scapular area, and we actually want to open up nice and wide. So for our first few breaths this morning, I'm going to encourage you, if you're seated, you can do it seated as well. This also works really well lying flat on the floor because that allows our spine to really just rest right on the earth. But standing is great as well. And just take a second, tuck your chin in. So that'll make sure everything's in alignment. See if you can tuck your navel just under your belly. So it's not a big core crunch at all, but it's just bringing some awareness to the center of the body. And then we're going to do actually the best thing for that tight scapular area, and we're going to open up our shoulders. So that actually draws the shoulder blades together on the back. And if you're seated tall, you'll know that drawing your shoulders wide and down your back, you're actually bringing those shoulder blades down. And that's what we're going to do here as we open up wide. And I'm going to show you a little breath work that you can do. 2 or 3 breaths on each side just to relieve some of that tension in your upper back. So we're going to take a big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to turn our head to the left and draw our fingertips to our left shoulder. Take a big inhale here. And then always moving on the exhale, bring your hand back out wide and your gaze forward. Take a big inhale. Look to the right, draw your fingertips to your shoulder. Keep that chin tucked in. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, open wide, come back to neutral. Let's do it one more time. Take a big inhale. Feel it expanding. Exhale, chin to the left, fingertips to your shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to neutral. One more time, big inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale here. Exhale, open up. Good. Maybe take a big inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, hands come down to neutral, and they can just rest at your sides or on your lap. So doing that exercise a few times a day helps to address at least a challenge I've faced, and that's sort of releasing some of the tension in our upper backs and that shoulder blade area. So last week we reflected This week, we're planning and researching. So if you've identified some successes, I encourage you to do a bit of research. Who else has experienced that success in the literature? Most of our disciplines have education journals. So the Journal of Veterinary Medicine educators. There's also the same in medicine itself, in arts and science and graduate studies, also journals. If you're stuck, feel free to contact me and I'll point you in the right direction. But see who else has experienced similar kinds of successes and or challenges. If you identify challenges and you're not sure where to go to the research literature, see who else is talking about it at this moment in time. I bet there are lots of people who have faced similar things to yourself. The other thing you can do is do research in your department. What else is going on with everybody? How are other people experiencing similar challenges or successes? Maybe there's an opportunity for you to collaborate. And that's where you might do a little bit of planning. So once you've done a bit of research and reflected on your successes and challenges, make that plan. What's going to happen next? What are you going to do differently? If your challenge was like me and you just want to figure out ways to, release the tension in your shoulders throughout the day, you've now done a little bit of research on one way to do that. If your challenge or success is related to your teaching, again, go to the research literature, see what it recommends. And when all else fails, contact us here at LEAD. We're happy to help with any challenge that you might be facing. I hope that you have a really great rest of the week planning and researching, and look forward to our Monday opportunity to reflect on new intentions and next goals next week, where we'll be thinking about creation. That's all from me for today. I hope you have a really wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Bye for now.